effort. He's giving everything he has out there on the court right now.
And that's one of the things as you mature in this league you like. Even though the shots may not be falling, you still can have an impact positively on the game and help your team be successful. And that's one of the things you want as a young player to learn as quickly as possible, because there are a multitude of ways you can have an impact.
Avery Brown is not happy with the movement on the Lakers as we wait the jump ball, and Josh Howard comes up with it. Too deep. Kobe Bryant with the rebound.
And just that quickly, as great as Dallas was offensively, they hit a little bit of a lull.
Great move by Kobe, but he lost it on the way up. No reset on the shot clock. Ball didn't hit the rim. Clock is now down to 6. Cook has it knocked away. Shot clock at 3. And knocked away again.
And that's a perfect example. You're running a triangle offense. There was not one body moving that entire possession right there. And again, that is not the type of play that Phil Jackson wants from his team. But again, a lot of guys not playing in positions they're comfortable with. You can see how hard Kobe's having to work.
Maybe it was an isosceles triangle. But it was the move.
Well, I know one thing. It wasn't the right triangle. That much I do know. Turnover there. But, you know, you're seeing a great job right now by Greg Buckner on Kobe Bryant. And Avery said before the game, this is the kind of guy they targeted in the offseason, a wing defender that can shut down the big perimeter scorers in this league. And Greg Buckner's not going to stop Kobe Bryant, but when you're making him work as hard as he has been this entire quarter, you are doing your job whether Kobe's scoring a basketball or not.
Devin Harris trying to work around Farmar. There's foul goes against McKee.
You know, you hear it all the time about how coaches prepare to go against a certain opponent. A couple things you can't prepare for: size and speed. Devin Harris with great speed with the basketball in the pick and roll. When he's coming at you, he's almost unguardable, and now his decision making is improving. And then what do you do when you're Dallas? You now go and bring in the MVP candidate Dirk Nowitzki, who hasn't been out there for a while, and you can rest assured he's going to be in a very aggressive mode.
Well, they only went +7 with Dirk on the bench. So that's not great news. Howard with it, turns with 4 on the clock. No good. Comes to Devin George. Finds Harris, and fresh 24 for the Dallas Mavericks. Nowitzki shoots over top of Cook.
That's vintage Dirk right there. I mean, that's just an unbelievable use of the jab step right there and really swinging the basketball under Brian Cook's arm. And if you're Brian Cook and you're not in a position and ready to get a hand up on that jump shot, Dirk is just waiting for that opportunity. With that high release, you have no chance to stop that.
Kobe Bryant almost lost the handle on the ball. Down to Cook, who fights it off the glass.
And that was one of the few times where they actually executed the offense. Brian Cook makes the baseline cut. Kobe Bryant able to find him down in the interior for the layup.
Bryant plays off of George. Waits for Nowitzki, goes around Cook. Use to the glass, no good. Contact, but no call. Devin George reaching in on Kobe Bryant. Gets hit with a foul. That's his third. Sends us into the penalty. Dirk Nowitzki. You call it classic? That's about it. And it is still wide open for who's going to make the playoffs. Orlando and New Jersey just out right now. But impressive in that is Detroit has suddenly become the Piston team we saw years ago, not with the Ben Wallace in the middle, but with Chris Webber in the middle.
Yeah, and the Miami Heat are still the team that I think ultimately is going to determine who comes out of the East. And you know, for all those people who doubted Shaquille O'Neal and his ability to still carry a team, I think he's answered those questions. Plus, Pat Riley has shown that he's still got a few tricks in the bag to motivate a basketball team.
Well, it's amazing also how I think that you get closer to the warm weather and the playoff time. Guys like Antoine Walker and Gary Payton and Jason Williams start feeling, you know, a little bit more pep in their step, a little bit more energy on the defensive end of the floor, and there's definitely been a change in the Miami Heat team over the last week and a half.
Great drive by Jason Terry, plus the contact.
And again, just great decision making. He reads the pick and roll, takes a baseline, again, creates the contact, which is what smart offensive players do. and he still's got the presence of mind to be able to finish up over Andrew Bynum.
And again, more of the inexperience we talked about. Andrew Bynum, you're 7'1", you're coming block to block, you beat him to the other side of the basket. I at least want to see you go up and try to block the shot. He's basically trying to take a half charge, half block attempt. You're 7'1", go after the basketball. If you knock him down, put him on the line, give him 2 shots, you do not allow a 3-point play in that situation.
Farmar dumps it off to McKee before getting it back. Cook just inside the arc, knocks it down.
And again, much better execution offensively the last few possessions for the Lakers. They're starting to now show a little bit more patience, I think, with the triangle.
Chop comes to set a screen on Kobe Bryant. Shot clock is at 5. Howard out of the corner, 3-pointer.
And that's the difference. It's funny. You think about the NBA game. They attack the mismatches, and they force you to make the adjustments defensively, and yet they still end up making the right decision, and Josh Howard knocks down the jump shot.
And that's just tremendous athletic ability. Terry in for a closer look, then back outside. Gets it back. Launches a jumper. Good.
Now, this is like shooting game shots for the Dallas Mavericks right now.
It's like an arcade game.
Well, they've sped the tempo up, and Avery said he wants to play a little faster, and it makes it more difficult to guard because, again, they don't have any weaknesses offensively out there right now.
Ball knocked away by Terry. Chased down by McKee. He's passed to Kobe Bryant. 5 on the clock, but doesn't draw iron. 2 on the clock. Farmar lets it go, but comes right to Chop. Nowitzki wants to take it right to the hole. His finger roll.
He was shocked he got to the rim without any defender coming to stop him.
Offensive foul against Jordan Farmar.
I tell you, great play there by Devin Harris to step in and give up his body, but you talked about, again, great decision-making. Devin Harris finds the open shoot. Look at the spacing that they create, and that's in part because of Devin Harris's quickness. You have to honor that, and then he's able to get that out to the perimeter, knock down a 3-pointer.
Farmar goes for the steal.
Unable to reach the telestrator.
Ball intended for Terry, knocked away. Kobe Bryant pulls up over top of Howard, the miss. Cook almost had it on the follow. And a hard foul by McKee on Josh Howard.
I love the way the Mavericks, as soon as they get possession, their heads are up. They're looking to kick the basketball up ahead. That's how you play effective offense early in transition, is by passing the basketball forward. You cannot outrun that basketball. They do a great job of that. Put so much pressure on you defensively, and you can see why they've been so much more effective offensively in the second quarter.
Well, if you took all 5 of these matchups right now, put all these guys on the baseline, I don't think there's one Laker out there that could outrun a Dallas Maverick from one end of the floor to the other, including Kobe Bryant, who's matched up with a guy like Josh Howard. So they have more speed and quickness at every position on the floor. So once they end up with a turnover or a defensive rebound, they're off to the races.
And what they've done a great job of is learning how to utilize the speed and quickness. They now utilize it to create turnovers, to rebound the basketball, and to play effective offense early in the shot clock.
Howard now with 13, the largest lead for the Dallas Mavericks. Kobe Bryant works around Howard and loses the ball, but last touched by Chop, so it will still belong to the Lakers when we come back, where Dallas continues their molten hot roll.